on elections 2020.
Oh, okay.
My dear nephew, it has been a long time since I received a letter from you, and so you can imagine that your latest letter made my day. I could I could sense your excitement that you'll be voting for the very first time on Monday, December 7th. And you have every right to be excited because the right to vote is precious, and I'm happy that you are cherishing it. My nephew is going to vote for the first time. He registered for the first time
Wow.
this year to vote. I must tell you that I was rather amused to know that you are a staunch supporter of one of the two main candidates in the presidential race. As you are aware, I choose not to have a party affiliation, but to always allow the issues of the day and the best interests of Ghana at any given time to influence my choice in the voting booth. You asked who I was going to vote for. Well, if you read to the end of this letter, I promise to tell you. I believe that until Ghanaians come to the point where our choice at any election is not dictated by partisanship, but by the issues of the day and what a particular candidate is proposing to do about them, until we get to that point, our politicians will continue to take us for granted. As it is now in Ghana, each party knows that no matter its performance or whatever platform it is presenting, it can count on winning certain regions easily. That is not good enough for a developing country like Ghana. There is so much we need our politicians to do for us, and until they know that they cannot take any vote for granted, no politician is going to bring his A game to the table once he wins power. But my dear nephew, that is just me and my views. You are not wrong to be committed to a party, but I hope that if that party fails to meet your expectations when they come to power, you will let your vote at the next elections express your protest at being let down. My dear nephew, I was also amused to read from you that your father, that is my brother, is an ardent supporter of the other candidate. I'm not surprised that your father is disgusted and disappointed with your choice because I know my brother. He does not quite understand the democratic system. Your father is not open-minded, and so I can imagine him telling you off for going as far as wearing the T-shirt of the candidate of your choice. Your father needs to understand that in our system of democracy, what matters is that you are involved and will play your part in choosing a leader for the nation. By the way, until your father develops a bit of open-mindedness, I advise that you hide all your party T-shirts from him. Otherwise, it is not beyond him to burn them since you are still living in his house. I hope, though, that you would be more open-minded about opposing views than your father is. What I'm saying is, don't complain about your father's attitude only for you to develop and manifest the same attitude. Now, my dear nephew, listen to me carefully. On Monday, please don't wear your candidate's T-shirt to the polling station. And don't wear anything with the colors of any party in it. 2, when you are done casting your vote, please leave the polling station. Go back to your work or go home. You can return to the polling station later if you like, when the polling ends and the results are being announced. Please remember that those who support the other candidate are not your enemies, and their support for that candidate does not make them stupid. It is a free choice, and the biggest favor we can do ourselves is to allow everyone his right to choose whichever of the candidates is his choice. My dear nephew, I must tell you that you cracked me up when you said you were 110% that your candidate is winning the elections. You said the numbers that turned up at his rallies is a clear indication that he's winning the elections by a landslide. Well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but the experience in Ghana is that you can never tell which candidate will win just by looking at the size of the crowd. I have lived through too many elections to be fooled by the size of a rally. I've come to understand that in Ghana, you cannot count on even those who mount the platform with a candidate to campaign for him to to vote for him, even though standing with you.
Fear delegate.
Your fear delegate, you can't count. I will not be surprised if even some of those who serve on the executives of a political party do not vote for that party. That is just how treacherous voting can be in Ghana. If your grandmother was still alive, I would have asked you to go to her and asked her ask her what gave her the chills and almost killed her on the eve of the 1969 general elections. Your grandma is not alive, and your father was too small at the time to remember. So, let me give you just the gist of what happened to cause your grandmother to retreat to bed early, shivering and traumatized on the eve of the 1969 elections. The 1969 general elections was a straight contest between K.A. Gbedema of NOW and Kofi Abrefa-Buizia of PP. NOW was positioned as a reincarnation of CPP, and PP was also positioned as a new UP. Your grandmother was CPP, and so she naturally became a card-bearing member of NOW, and even became the vice chairman of the constituency. The chairman of the constituency was a businessman with a shop at Edum. The last rally of NOW in Kumasi was massive. Kumasi came to a standstill because of the huge numbers. Your grandmother came home that day dancing. She was so sure that NOW was going to win by a landslide. Well, on the eve of the elections, she decided to pass by the constituency chairman's shop to touch base with him for the very last time. When she got to the shop, she saw the man standing in front of his shop with his back towards her and chatting with a friend. Because he had his back to her, he did not see her approaching him. Before she could get to him and call his attention to her presence, however, a car pulled up and the driver shouted to the man, "Jack, how are we going tomorrow?" And the NOW constituency chairman said, "Oh, tomorrow it is PP all the way." At this, the guy the chairman was chatting with said, "My friend, I thought you were NOW." And the chairman, with contempt in his voice, said, "NOW? I just pretended I was with them to make some money." Your grandmother was too shocked to even confront the man. She slipped away quietly, and she was totally broken. She was not herself for days. That is my mother's experience. And so you see, my dear nephew, politics in Ghana is very strange. Please don't give your heart too much to it, or your heart will be broken. I am only glad that you are playing your part in the process. Just remember that if you participate in an election and you cannot make provision for the probability of losing, then you do not understand the process. Well, at the beginning of this, I said that I would answer your question as to who I am going to vote for. And here is my answer. It is none of your business. My vote is a secret.
Oh, uncle.
And my dear nephew, remember to wear a mask to the polling station and play your part in ensuring a peaceful elections. No matter the results, let's all ensure that Ghana wins. And this is from your uncle, who is proud that you are going to vote.
Thank you, uncle. I was waiting for your verdict on how you are going to vote. But now that you say it's none of my business, I can't even ask.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. I also would vote on Monday.
Yes.
Okay, but our vote is certainly a secret.
Yes, it is, and for good reason.
Yeah. But your nephew, so your brother belongs to a different party,
and the son is an ardent. He's doing this for the first time. So as for him, he's gone all in.
That's interesting.
And my brother is one of the most impatient and intolerant people, and he cannot understand why somebody. One time he looked at him, "Are you my son at all?"
I mean, I'd love to see that family. Anyway, thank you very much, Uncle White.